Good afternoon, viewers. This is Mr. Supa-Bounce II here, and I'm at Shenley Leisure Centre in Milton Keynes at the moment. And I've come to see and possibly have a quick bouncing session on the Shenley Leisure Centre's vintage Supa-Bounce Bumpa Bouncer. And according to the Leisure Centre's manager, this Bumpa Bouncer was made in 1993, which incidentally is the year that I was born. Yeah, and it was the 297th Supa-Bounce bouncy castle to be built in the year 1993. So it's as old as me. So I'm delighted to discover a Supa-Bounce inflatable that's still in existence, that is the exact age as me. And it looks to me that it's a Midi-sized model rather than a maxi-sized, because the one that I privately own is a 23 feet by 20 feet maxi-sized one, but this looks like a Midi-sized one to me. Yeah, I think it is a Midi-sized one because the bounce beds are a bit smaller compared to my Bumpa Bouncer. I've noticed that the original yellow and blue back wall has been replaced. Because originally the back wall would have been just like the left and right wall. It would have been yellow and blue, but I think it might have got damaged. So yeah, this is a Midi-sized Supa-Bounce Bumpa Bouncer. But I'll have to refer to the brochure to confirm the exact size of it, because I don't know at the top of my head at the time of recording this. Hello and welcome to part 2 of me showcasing the Shenley Leisure Centre's Supa-Bounce Bumpa Bouncer. And I can confirm that it is a 19 feet by 16 feet Midi-sized Bumpa Bouncer. So I'm just gonna do a walking tour around it. Let me just get my bag. Don't want to leave it unattended. So yeah. Here's the manufacturer's label, but for some reason it doesn't have the telephone numbers anymore. They might have painted it over. And it still retains the original rope and bar anchor points. And it still blows up solid on a 1.5 horsepower blower. Well, I've noticed that the other side of the back wall panel is, I think, original, but it may have been refurbished, or maybe the back wall is original. Let's take another walking tour around it. Right. Yeah, all looks good. Right, before the Bumpa Bouncer opens to the general public, I'm going to give it a good test bounce first. Okay, the 1993 Supa-Bounce bouncy castle is deflating now, so it's going to be packed away now. Yep, down it goes. I'll go around the side. So yeah, all the tubes need to be undone. And Supa-Bounce bumper bouncers have a total of 4 tubes. So 3 of which are at the back. The large inspection tube, the inflation tube, a small vent tube on the corner of the back wall, and another vent tube. Yes, unlike modern commercial grade inflatables, vintage Supa-Bounce bouncy castles do not have fast deflation zips. Instead, they have additional tubes instead. So the fastest way to deflate a Supa-Bounce bouncy castle is to undo all the tubes. Another way to speed up the deflation process is to step onto the bouncy castle and gently walk all over it. All right, yep. Oh wow, that's a very good tactic. Very good tactic indeed. Yeah. Wow, I must try that myself with my own Supa-Bounce bouncy castles. Yeah, I'll need to buy some crash mats, because if I'm going to inflate my Supa-Bounce bouncy castles in the outside yard of the former Supa-Bounce factory building in Hinckley, Leicestershire, because it's set up on concrete, and if I were to allow the late Supa-Bounce director's grandchildren to use my Supa-Bounce bouncy castles, it's best if I invest in some crash mats so that they don't get themselves injured in the unlikely event of them falling out of my 3 privately preserved Supa-Bounce bouncy castles. So yeah, I must invest in some crash mats. So the staff members, including the manager, are in the process of squeezing the air out. Yeah, it takes time to squeeze all the air out. What I normally do is step in the middle and go gently walk around in a circle, round and round, multiple times, as that's my method of packing away my own privately preserved vintage Supa-Bounce bouncy castles. Well, maybe I can demonstrate if that's all right. Yeah, I'll just take off my shoes and so I can help speed up the deflation process. So I'm just going to gently walk round in a circle like this. Oh, I enjoy doing that. It's so therapeutic. Yeah, when you do walk around, you got to do it very gently and don't do it too quickly, because there could potentially be some sharp debris in the ground underneath the bouncy castle. So the last thing we want is for any sharp debris on the ground to pierce a hole underneath it. So yeah, so when you do gently walk all over it to squeeze the air out, it's best to do it very gently, like what I'm doing right now, rather than doing it too quickly, because there could be the possibility that there could be some sharp debris in the ground underneath it. takes a bit of time, but I'll get there in the end. I've noticed that this Bumpa Bouncer has the extra reinforced bed strips between one bed panel and the other, and also between one step panel and the other as well. Whereas when I was at a Bank Holiday Fun Day event in Kirby Cross in Essex, there was a 1991 Supa-Bounce frog bouncy castle at that event, and that one didn't have the extra reinforced bed strips between one bed panel and the other, and between one step panel and the other. So Supa-Bounce may have introduced the extra reinforced bed strips in the year 1992 or even 1993. But it's good that they did introduce the extra reinforced bed strips in order to extend the lifespan of a Supa-Bounce bouncy castle, because the ones without the bed strips have a shorter lifespan and they have the tendency to split apart the joint between one bed panel and the other. But surprisingly, the 1991 Supa-Bounce frog bouncy castle, which is currently, or at the time of filming, owned by Hammers Castles over in the Essex coast, yeah, despite it not having bed strips, it's still going strong, although it has been restitched several times, so it's a little wonky, but it's still bounce worthy despite it being 35 years old at the time of filming. And I hope to see that frog again on my birthday this year, because in Kirby Cross there's going to be the annual village fete, which will take place on the 31st of August in 2026, which incidentally is my birthday. So for my 33rd birthday celebrations, I shall be down in Kirby Cross in Essex. Now, I'm also going to gently move the pillar over to the middle, like this. Oh, yeah, you've got to do this very gently to avoid the possibility of ripping a hole. So when you do handle the walls and the pillars of the Supa-Bounce inflatable, best to do it very gently. Yeah, don't be too heavy-handed, because it could be... I know this is a strong, solid and virtually indestructible bouncy castle. You still got to handle it with care and not be too heavy-handed with it. And you can also gently walk on top of the pillar, but take it very slowly. Don't do it too quickly, because you could fall over and hurt yourself. Yeah, best to do things nice and slow. Yes, I know it's time consuming, but better to be safe than sorry, and in my opinion, doing things fast-paced compromises safety. So yeah, best to do things slowly and steadily, even though it is time-consuming. It takes a lot of patience to squeeze all the air out of a Supa-Bounce inflatable. But if you keep at it, the results will eventually pay off. I think I'll pause the recording temporarily because I don't want this video to be too long. So we're going to fast forward a few minutes later now. And the next scene that you will see will be when this Bumpa Bouncer is completely flat. Okay. The Bumpa Bouncer is now being folded up. Let's see if I can stand in a better angle. Now, here's something else that's interesting about a Supa-Bounce inflatable. Oh, sorry. As I was saying, this is another interesting feature about a Supa-Bounce inflatable. These holes here are actually not damaged at all. They are actually drainage holes, which were made on purpose because in the event of rain, the rainwater would end up going deep inside the Supa-Bounce bouncy castle. And in order for the rainwater to escape, they have to escape through these tiny little drainage holes with the eyelets.
Watch out.
So these holes are not damaged at all. They are purposely made for the purpose of draining out the water that gets trapped deep inside of it. Because, as you know, in the UK it rains quite a lot. So to anyone who owns a Supa-Bounce inflatable, do not patch up these holes. These are drainage holes and they're there for a reason. It's great to see that the bottom bed panels underneath the bouncy castle are still in good condition. And there's no tears underneath. Well, I know there's a few patches that I've noticed, but they have patched up the holes underneath the bouncy castle, because one of the most common problems when setting up a bouncy castle outdoors is that the bottom beds underneath the bouncy castle are vulnerable to getting damaged by sharp debris on the ground. So yeah, sharp debris on the ground can pierce holes into it. But don't panic, they can easily be patched up in just a matter of minutes using the latest product. Oh, hang on, I've just noticed something. Oh, there's the serial number. Oh, I thought it wasn't there. So yeah, this bouncy castle was the 297th Supa-Bounce inflatable to be built in 1993. Oh, I thought that serial number had faded away, but it's still here. Oh, I'm so glad it's still here, because there are other Supa-Bounce inflatables that I've seen where the serial number has faded away, so I'm so glad that it's still retained. Right, it's time for the rolling up procedure. Maybe I could step on it and walk backwards as you roll. That might be easier.
You want to join in, yeah?
Yes, of course, as that's what I do. Yeah, so two human beings do the rolling while I do this. So this is what I do. So carry on rolling and I'll walk backwards.
Okay, let's go. Yeah, please. Wow, this is much better. Nice.
We might need to slow down a bit because there's still quite a lot of air, so just bear with me while I
Do your dance?
flattening. That's what I call it, the flattening method. Oh yeah, it's best to tuck that in. Yeah.
We usually have it out just to keep the air going out.
Oh yeah. Good point. Yeah. Have it out temporarily and then maybe.
Fold it in when we
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just bring the wind across. What was it? Straighten up your way a little bit.
Ow. Once again, when you do flatten a Supa-Bounce inflatable, do it very gently. Don't be too heavy-handed. All right, usually at this point, well, what I normally do is begin to tuck in the tubes before doing the final part of the rolling technique.
Okay. We will leave it.
Oh yes, that's really good. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, fantastic.
Okay. And then just leave it quite slow, just let the air come out of it.
Brilliant.
Do you want to do? You lift it up, yeah?
I'll lift stuff.
Alright. Okay, take care. Yeah, good luck. Bye. See ya. Where do you want to put it down? Yeah, we'll put that underneath.
Oh yeah, before you put a rolled up Supa-Bounce inflatable onto a sack barrow or a trolley, you've got to tie up the roll so that it doesn't unroll by itself.
Oh, it doesn't look anywhere as good as this.
Yeah, we normally. Yeah, not as neat at all.
The Collins.
And by the way, you may have been wondering, viewers, why you can't find the Supa-Bounce Preservation Society on Facebook and YouTube anymore. Well, unfortunately, it is with great regret that I took the difficult decision to permanently close down the Supa-Bounce Preservation Society to the general public due to the fact that it was attracting a lot of bad and unsavory bouncy castle enthusiasts with a dirty mind, and they kept writing inappropriate 18 plus messages, and despite me telling them not to do it and that it's not tolerated, the unsavory bouncy castle enthusiasts didn't care, they didn't listen, so the inappropriate messages just kept on coming in, and it just got so out of hand, so it left me no choice but to permanently close down the Supa-Bounce Preservation Society to the public in early 2026. So, yeah, really sorry that the Supa-Bounce Preservation Society has permanently closed down, but however Supa-Bounce will still continue to live on, albeit privately. So nowadays Supa-Bounce lives on in the form of the private Supa-Bounce Preservation Group, and it's only open to professionals in the commercial grade inflatable industry. Right, the Bumpa Bouncer is now being moved from the outdoor space of Shenley Leisure Centre in Milton Keynes, and it's going to where it's being stored. I'd like to thank the Leisure Centre's manager and his team for having me today, and to enable me to film this interesting video. But yeah, once again, I'm really sorry that the Supa-Bounce Preservation Society has permanently closed down to the public. However, it is still open to professionals in the commercial grade inflatable industry, and it's nowadays known as the private Supa-Bounce Preservation Group. Okay, thank you for watching, viewers, and I'll see you again very soon. Or thank you for watching, professionals, actually, and I'll see you all again very soon. Bye-bye.